Hello students, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we are going to see the second part of our first topic from democratic politics of class 9th. The name of our topic is what is democracy, why democracy. Okay, so in previous video, I have explained the first question, that is what is democracy. Okay, we have seen features of democracy too. Okay, now in this video I'll explain you why democracy. This is the second question, but before that, if you are new to the channel, do subscribe the channel and hit the bell icon. Okay, so let's get started with the second part. So our part 2, which consists of our second question, and the question is why democracy. Okay, so why we want to conclude, or why we are going to say that democracy is best, right? So you might be in a favor of a democracy, but we need to take both parts. Okay, both points, we need to learn both points. We should see negative points also, and we should see positive points also. Even if we have a negative or we have a positive points, then and then only we are going to conclude that whether democracy is good or not. So first we are going to start with the negative points, that is cons of democracy. Okay, we are going to see the arguments against democracy. Okay, so stay tuned. Let's start with the arguments against democracy. So first point in that is leaders keep changing. See, you all know that every 5 years, interval of every 5 years, we are having an elections, and in that elections our leaders may keep on changing, which leads to instability of the government. Okay, next part is no scope for morality. Here, as it is a democratic government, okay, as we are learning democracy, people have right to vote. Some illiterate people, they don't know what is democracy, so leaders may take disadvantage of it. Okay, and it leads to the moral, it says that there is no scope for morality. It can be time consuming, as when they are going to take a decision, they have to discuss it with panel, and for the discussion with panel it takes time. Okay, sometimes leaders may take a bad decision also, because all leaders, they might not be aware of the public, and they can't take a decision in the favor of a public, right? That's the reason some leaders may take a bad decisions. Fine. And in the end, our last point, our last negative point is it leads to corruption. Okay, as a democracy is based on electoral competition, it leads to the corruption. Fine. So we have seen arguments against democracy. Now we will see arguments for democracy, or arguments in favor of democracy, or we'll see the positive points of democracy. Okay, so that it will help us to conclude whether democracy is good or not. Fine. So let's start with the positive points. It is more accountable form of government. Now how we can say that it is more accountable form of government? Because a democratic government is a better. Okay, and we can say that when it goes to the democracy, it responds to the needs of the people, right? That's why it's more accountable. It improves the quality of a decision making. So democracy deals with the consultation and discussion. Before taking or before making any decision, a panel is sitting and they are taking a decision, so it may improve the quality of a decision making. It gives the method to deal with the differences and conflicts. Yeah, democracy helps to deal with the differences and conflicts. Okay, because our mindset, and we have different mentality, different mental ability people, right? It enhances dignity of a citizen. This is very important. See, when it goes to democracy, every single person, either he is rich or poor, okay, their vote have a value. So it enhances, it brings rich and poor on a single platform, right? Yes, and in the end we can say that it is the best form of government than the other form. If you compare this form of government with the other form, democratic government is the best form, as it allows us to correct our own mistakes. Okay, so this was about arguments for democracy. Dear students, we have seen features of democracy, we have seen a definition of democracy, we have gone through the pros and cons of democracy, right? And now we are going to see the broader meanings of democracy. See, but before that, let me say you, in this chapter, the meaning of democracy is discussed in a descriptive sense, and in order you to learn about democracy as a form of government and helping you to identify a clear set of minimal features that democracy requires. But the common form adopted by democracy is representative democracy. Okay, in democratic countries, all people do not rule. A majority is allowed to take decisions on behalf of all the people through their elected representatives. Okay, so majority rule through their elected representative means what? So they are allowed to take decisions through their through the people, sorry, on the behalf of the people. Okay, now this has become a necessary. Now how and why? Because of the reasons. There are some reasons, right? What is the reason? That all people they can't sit together. Okay, why they can't sit together? Because practically it is impossible for them to sit together and to take a collective decisions. So that's the reason majority people or the government who has who has a power, so they are taking a decision on behalf of people, right? Even if they could, the citizen does not have the time or the desire or the skills to take part in all the decisions. So every single being or every human being might not be able to sit, or might not be having a desire, or they might not be having a skill, they might not be possessing a skill, so that they can't sit together, right? That is the reason majority rule through the elected representatives. Okay, after that we have seen that it can be applied to any sphere. Okay, any sphere of the life. Fine. So people use the word democracy not to describe any existing government, but to set up an ideal standard that all democracies must aim to become. Okay, so it should be an aim, and every government or every democracy must aim to become. Okay, but in the end it says that there should be an equal role of every citizen. Okay, as we have seen that one vote one value, so this should be applied. Cleared? I hope that we have gone through we have gone through the topic, and I hope that you might have understand it. But even then, if you have any doubt, if you got any misconception throughout the topic, so feel free to comment in the comment section. Okay, so that we can sort it out. Cleared? Okay, so till that time, take care, have a great time. Okay, and all the best. ठीक है, ओके, चलो, बाय बाय।